Hello there, it's Michael from Breakflows. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how we can use make.com to remove the background of our images. And with make.com, you could make this as autonomous as you possibly can. And that's exactly what we're going to treat in this video. All right, so let's say we do want to get a file URL at first, or a file from a source, because that's the first step. And the API we're using actually is going to be from Remove.bg, and this is actually a very powerful system. But you should note you can only send about 50 API calls per month. Then you need to have to make some payments. That's to use their API or their services. All right, so now let's get started with it. Okay, now, so the first thing I want to do is I'm just going to use a simple Google Drive scenario to get our file. All right, so now we're going to say download the file. And so I already have my make scenario connected. Now you'd have to connect yours. So I just want to select enter file ID from list, and my drive would be from my drive, where my file ID would be background remove. All right, and the file I want to work with in this scenario would be Pixels Justin Shafia. If you come over to my Google Drive, this is the file I'm trying to work with. Okay, all right. Now when I run this scenario, I would get my file here. Okay, awesome. Now what I want to do is use um, the API which is already integrated in Make. Now if you're trying to work this on an external on a similar app like make.com, whether it's anything or if this and that, then you could check my video here where I explain this system using anything. So with Make, the integration is already live for us, so we just have to select this. Now, our data here, yeah, so it's a data and not a URL, depending on whichever you're working with. If it's just a URL, then we're going to send the URL file straight here. But because we're getting it from Google Drive, then it's going to be a data. And we'll just write our image data, and that is data here. So that is there. And we can just close this, where all this would be as it is. Size would be auto. You could make the size full, and this is the limit. All these are the limits of file sizes we could have, and type would also be auto. Now the background could be transparent, or you could give it a color. Now for the sake of this video, let's try to use a color. Let's see if it actually does work. Let's say we want the color, so it has to be an SVG. So let's use red, right? So here we have red. Now it needs to be in an X code, and output format will be PNG, right? Yep. So this is how this would be. Okay. And let's run that. Awesome. So we have this. Now, what you should note is the larger the file size it takes to download, then that's the longer your scenario would run. So if you have a file size of about 10 MB, now it will take significantly way more longer time than a file size of about 1 MB to run, right? And believe me, a file size of about 10 MB is actually really, really long. It takes like a minute for the scenario to execute fully. Now I want to send this file back to my Google Drive, and I'm going to use the upload node. I'll upload the file. Okay, now file folder ID would be my folder ID here. I'm just going to copy that. Whenever I make, I'll just write this here. All right, now I could also like select from list. Either way could work. Now the file I'm working on is this file here, but I'm going to use map, because with map then I can easily write a file name. When you're working with make or Google Drive itself, you need to name that file, right? So the file won't be named automatically, so you have to give it a name, and it's compulsory, so we just have a file name. Let's call this make testing. Well, our data field here would be from image data. And really, even if you even if you were to select remove bg, so you could just test this out. Now you see, if we do run this scenario, you'll notice it wouldn't execute because of that same reason. If already is missing file name. Okay, now let's just correct that. our file name will just be make testing. Okay, and now let's run our scenario. Okay, so invalid parameter file name. I wonder why that is. Okay, so make, so you know what, let's just try select from a list where our file will be my drive, where I want to use background remover. Okay, now map, I'm going to still use my file name. Okay, and I'm going to now select. Okay, let's try it once more. Actually, what was the error here? Still finding error. Okay, so let's just save that and let's run this. Awesome, so we have this now. And when we come over to make, it's going to take a while for this to pick. Right, so it's background remover. If you check here, it was also background remover. It's not taking a lot longer. Let me try refreshing that. All right, so here's our file, and I could just download this. Okay, so my file is here. I'll just open it in a new tab, and you can see here my background now became red. So probably if I'm making a passport or something like that, this would work fine. But really, what you want to do is just to remove the background. That means you want to make it transparent, right? So then we come over here and let's just rename our file to, let's say, um, make testing transparent. Now, of course, you could also make this file naming dynamic. It doesn't really have to be like this. Just a quick video on how we could work on the remove background API. And we'll run this once more. Okay, so let's save. Let's run this now. This node contains unsaved. Okay. But yeah, okay. If we do run this, now we should have a new file here, and that will just be, so just have to refresh, make testing transparent. When I install this file, or when I download this file, then I could easily just preview it from here and add that here. Now this is our transparent file, and this is really awesome. Now that is how you could easily remove background images, and I hope you did find this video helpful. Have a wonderful day.